Get your signature right here.
Whatever your time is short.
I think I told you I had an EMS partner that was the
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's been a long day now.
toughest thing in the world that was your size. I never got hurt when I was working with her. You mind if I date this for you?
Go right ahead.
Okay. All
My
right.
credit, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All
All right, Miss Judy, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement in 23 CF 403 that calls for 180 days county jail on count 1 and time served on count 2. Is that what you wanted to do today? Okay. All right. And count 1 is the possession of controlled substance, third-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years and $5,000.
Yeah,
The paraphernalia is 1 year and $1,000. All right. Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, controlled substances, or prescription medicines that could impair your ability to make the decision here today?
No, sir.
And do you have any mental health issues or concerns that could impair your ability to make that decision?
No, sir.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
And has he answered all of your questions? And are you satisfied with his advice and representation?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything in return for this plea other than what's in the agreement that we talked about?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you understand by entering a plea there won't be a trial of any kind, and the state won't have to prove these charges beyond all reasonable doubt?
Right.
And you'll be giving up your trial rights, as you just discussed with Mr. Williams, your right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, your right to call witness on your own behalf, testify on your own behalf, or remain silent. You're giving up all those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you understand you're waiving any potential defenses that you may have had to these charges?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea?
Plea would be no contest, Judge.
Is that right, Miss Judy?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given, and adjudicate you guilty on both counts. On count 1, adjudication, 180 days county jail. Count 2, adjudication and time served. Court costs $515. All right, $515 in court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 combined public defender fee. So that's the application and the regular PD fee. I've looked at the score sheet and signed that. This is a guideline sentence. She does not score. All right. I'm going to need her to be fingerprinted. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Judy.
Ma'am, that 30 days, time for appeal, you and I were talking. I just wanted to make sure you heard that. Okay? Okay.
Is that Keith?
Are you Victor Keith?
Yes, sir. Mr. Keith is here in 23 CF 512. Mr. Williams, what are you going to do with his case?
Judge, we're going to continue the case.
All right, Ms. Leone, do you have any objection to the continuance?
What's
Looks
this,
like Victor Keith. Looks like a pretty new case.
Yeah, no objection, Your Honor.
Let me just make sure, because sometimes she writes SP and she means supervised
Yes, sir.
probation.
I found him here.
No, it's prison, 32 months prison. Okay. So instead of taking that, let's see if we got any defenses on you and investigate your case.
All right, Mr. Keith, you're going to be June 26th at 1:30. Do you have any objection to the continuance? I think it's the first time up.
It
Mr.
is,
Keith.
Judge. Judge, he wants probation. That's not what the offer is. That's why I'm
understand
explaining to him.
All right, June 26th at 1:30.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Keith.
Mr. Ham out here too or something.
Langley. Harvey Langley.
This is Mr. Langley, the fourth judge. We've got two of them.
22 CF 279.
What I'm going to do, Judge, is Ms. Glisson just gave me a slight improvement to the offer. I need to go over that with him, though, so I'm going to set him for docket day. It's not one that would be getting him out of jail tonight, so.
All right. May 1st at 9 a.m. You'll come back next week in front of Judge Gontarek.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll come out and I'll go over the change. It's not a huge change.
Do not. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Langley.
Mr. Williams, you've already.
No, Robert Ham. Actually, he may just be on for the 27th. I thought he had a new law violation still set for today, though. But it may be that it's just going to track with his VOP on the 27th. If he's not on the docket, then that's fine.
Lauren, who is this? That's Rob. All right, 22 CF 2016.
Judge, this is Mr. Lestrap. What let's do is let's bring him in for docket day, Judge. I spoke with Ms. Bosal. She's amended the offer a little bit than what I had, so I want to go out to the jail and talk with him. Lestrap.
All right. We'll put him on May 1st at 9 o'clock for docket day.
Judge, he's asked if he can speak with you. Sir, you need to understand that you're being recorded. That's
Yes,
why
sir.
that green light's
Yes, sir,
on.
I know.
And so anything that you say may
Thank
come
you.
back and haunt you.
If you can,
All right.
it will be used against me.
Yes,
And just again, let me say something to you, Mr. Lestrap. I'm just filling in for one day in this division.
Okay.
Judge Gontarek will
No
take it
problem.
over on Monday, so I'm not going to be making any decisions on your case going
I'm
forward.
just going to tell you about my mental, that's all.
Okay.
We
No
did have
problem.
him evaluate. He did give me some more information, and I'm going to speak with Dr. Zeman and see if that changes his opinion.
Okay, perfect. I just don't want you to say anything, especially if I can't do much about it, because I'm not going to be your normal judge next
No
week.
problem, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lestrap. Have a good day.
Monday, you'll come back in. I'll come out and see you before then, okay? And we'll go over where things are at that point,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Vincente Martinez. There has been a, let me make sure, was it? All right, Judge, let's go ahead and set him on for Monday. Ms. Glisson and I are going to, we've made some counteroffers that have been rejected. I went out and spoke with him last night. He was quite upset with the status of things and emotional about it, and so I'm still working at trying to get things a little bit better for him.
Can we plea or continue for Monday?
We can do it that way, that's fine.
All right, plea or continue for Monday, May 1st at 9 a.m. and you'll be back in front of Judge Gontarek that
Yes,
day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Does not relate to the case. God bless you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Chance maybe, or 21 CF 3262.
Judge, this is going to be a plea.
Okay.
Score sheet.
All right, Ms. Mr. Mayberry, since you announced it's going to be a plea, I'm going to swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? All right, can you state your full name for the record?
Chance Ray Mayberry.
Okay, has Mr. Mayberry signed the plea already?
He has, Judge. He signed it at the jail last night.
Well, just to keep ahead of things, while they're still getting some of the paperwork together, I'm going to ask you some questions so we can be ready to go. Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, controlled substances, or prescription medications that could impair your ability to make this decision here today? And do you have any mental health issues or concerns that could impair your ability to make such a decision? All right. And have you had enough time to speak with Mr. Williams, your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And has he answered all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his advice and representation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's got a
Okay, and has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything in return for this plea?
No, sir.
Okay. And this is to, count one is, looks like a bomb threat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and count two and count three are both misdemeanor assaults.
correct, Judge.
Okay. All right, and so the agreement is for adjudication, 4 years probation.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the score sheet that was just handed up, and he scores 61.6 points. So is this a plea agreement for a downward departure?
Yes, sir, it is. Legitimate uncoerced plea bargain. It's also, we had him evaluated. He suffers from a mental disease and is amenable to treatment. It's unrelated to substance abuse, although it's exacerbated by it.
Okay. Ms. Glisson, you agree to the downward departure?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do have a score sheet if I may.
I've got one.
Is it filled out?
Yeah.
Take it.
Date, my name, okay.
Send
Send it back to me.
Date of sentence is not filled out. No, it's
Okay,
not.
good.
So you've got a better one for me.
And they'll reject it if it's not.
Yeah, well.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like this one's a little bit better. Same numbers, but just filled out as far as names and dates. All right. All right, so, Mr. Mayberry, do you understand that if you enter this plea, there won't be a trial on these charges where the state would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed these offenses?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're giving up all your trial rights that are enumerated in your agreement. Did you go over those with Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Your right to trial, right to cross-examine witnesses, right to call witnesses on your own behalf, all those things? Do you have any questions about that? Do you understand you're waiving any potential defenses that you do have? All right. And what is your plea?
No contest, Judge.
All right, and are you freely, voluntarily, knowingly entering that plea, which means you've talked it over with your lawyer and made your own decision on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to accept Mr. Mayberry's no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. I'm going to adjudicate him guilty on all three counts. On count one, it's 4 years probation. There's going to be a controlled substance evaluation and treatment, no alcohol or controlled substances without prescription, random breath and urine testing, continue psychiatric treatment, follow any case plan that Mental Health Pretrial Services has in place.
Yes.
Okay. Take all medications as prescribed and only as prescribed. No contact with the alleged victims. Do not return to 498 South Wilson Street, which is the Thrifty Food Store. If there is a violation of probation hearing, out-of-state witnesses can appear by Zoom or telephone. Is that something you're agreeing to?
Yes.
Okay. Court costs are going to be $515? Okay. Well, it's an assault.
151.
Okay. Okay, plus the $151 for the assault, $100 cost of prosecution, $50 application fee to the PD, $100 PD fee. That's all for count one. Count two and three is just going to be adjudication and time served. All right, any other questions or anything else from Mr. Mayberry?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Mayberry?
It's just time served.
Your Honor, just to be clear, the wording of the plea agreement, I think it said continue psychiatric treatment.
Yes, I
That can
said
be
that.
anywhere, just so
Okay.
probation is clear. As long as he's receiving psychiatric treatment. It's my understanding he was already enrolled, but,
He was in psychiatric treatment in Mississippi.
so if he stays here for some reason, he's to get it here. I just want to make that clear for probation. That way it's not locked into his prior treatment facility.
Sure. And the one thing I'd say, Mr. Mayberry, if you're going to go somewhere else, make sure probation approves of it first before you
Yes, sir.
start it, and then it turns out it doesn't work because it's not what you need. All right.
Do I get a paper?
Mr. Mayberry, step forward, be fingerprinted. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence.
And Your Honor, we'll request your supervision fees be waived, number one.
Yes.
And number two, if he is a resident of another state, he's going to have to pay $100 before we can initiate a
All right.
transfer request.
Are you planning on moving to another state, Mr. Mayberry?
I was thinking about it.
Okay, just make sure you talk to probation. You've got to get approval for that. If you don't get approved for that and you just go, they're probably going to consider you absconding.
I wouldn't do that.
All right, just make sure you talk to them about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Madam Clerk, if this defendant has any FTAs for this case, the state takes no action.
All right, who do we have next?
Judge, this is Justin Mays. We're going to move to continue the case, Judge.
Oh, no objection.
All right. Mr. Mays, do you have any objection to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you object to the continuance?
Object means that you don't want the case continued. You want to go ahead and go to trial in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I really go to trial.
You want to go to trial in 2 weeks?
Is that, can I
It's
talk to
okay.
my,
It's okay, you can talk to
I
him.
really talk to you.
All right. So now that you've talked to your lawyer, Mr. Mays, are you okay with the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. June 26th at 1:30. Mr.
All right.
Williams will come out and see you before
Thank you,
then.
Judge.
All right. Darius McLean,
Let's see, with a K.
21 CJ, I'm sorry, CJ. Well, that's what division I did.
McLean.
21 CF 2777, 22 CF 2, oh, no, wait, and 21 CF 1484. Oh, and 21 CF 1192.
I'm sorry, Judge.
It's-
Mr. McLean has requested a Nelson hearing, so we need to get him set for a hearing on
Okay, how quickly can we get that done?
it. Judge, I'm good pretty much any time.
All right, the 27th, is that 9?
Yep.
All right. Listen, you have any issues?
Thursday, the 27th, no objection, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right,
Okay.
so there'll be a Nelson, or, you said Nelson, right?
Nelson hearing, yes, sir.
Nelson hearing on April 27th at 9 a.m. That'll be in front of Judge Rimmer, who'll be filling in that day.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. McLean.
Did he file anything?
That's okay.
Well, I'll let you look at it.
This
He
is-
wrote something asking for it.
Robert McDonald?
Yes.
Okay. What are we doing for Mr. McDonald? Someone's going to say the next person's in the last one. Don't lie to me. Do I need a minute? Is that a question for you or me? Just overturn the document. I will tell you. Usually someone. The running joke and stuff.
All right, Judge, I've spoken with him. He's got a case where he represents himself.
Okay.
And he's got other cases where the Public Defender's Office represents him, and I'm kind of the latest in a long line. He's asked me to continue the case and given me some further information that makes sense.
What are we asking for?
I'm going to ask for a continuance on mine, and then, again, he's got one that he represents himself on.
Yeah, if I may inquire into the reason for the continuance, all these cases are very, very old, from 2019. One is possession of weapon by convicted felon, grand theft. The state is ready for trial on, not the failure to appear. I mean, we can try that in...
Well, he's indicating to me, Judge, that there's some additional evidence that somebody else has obtained for him, that they need to bring into me, that's going to exonerate him on one of this. Apparently, there's also been some...
Well, why are we waiting 3+ years for this evidence?
On the case that he's handling, that requires a disposition in my cases, but I haven't had that discussion with the prosecutor on it and don't know anything about that.
Your Honor, Mrs. Leon and I had an agreement on the FTA that if I would plea out, that she was going to dismiss the FTAs, right? On the 27th of February, you said
for the purpose of that, yes. If you plead to all the other cases, then I dismiss the FTA.
I understand that. But, Your Honor, during that time between the February 27th and today's date, there's been an investigation going on because I put my situation out to the community leaders in this town, and therefore they provided the funds so I could get some information from the street. I've obtained that information, Your Honor, and I want to be able to come back at the latest, at the latter of next Thursday, to come back and give that evidence to Mrs. Leon and or look at it.
Well, I can put you on Monday, and then we're just going to go to trial 2 weeks after that.
Your Honor, I just purchased the information today.
You just purchased information?
Yes, sir, I did, and I had to wait on the snail mail. That's all I'm asking is just give me till next Thursday.
What is next Thursday?
May
Next
4th.
Is that the 27th?
This Thursday?
Not the 27th, but the next Thursday. I want to show you
The
the
4th, May 4th. May 4th?
You want to pass it until May 4th?
Yes.
No, we need to get ready for trial independently from that evidence.
Well, Judge, I made my motion. He's fleshed it out as to what it is, that it has some additional evidence. The state's objecting to the continuance.
Which case are we talking about that's going to be tried?
Okay, yes, Your Honor. 19, the possession of controlled substance, the 19th. I'm trying to locate it, it's a bunch of them. Possession of weapon by convicted felon and possession of controlled substance.
Which case numbers are those?
A good question. I'm so sorry, I lost.
Those the 19 cases?
I thought I had it here.
There's 3440, 3443, and 3447.
I see those
which
numbers,
one
I'm
is
just making
what?
sure which one they're trying to, which one they're trying to go
Yeah,
forward
What we're
on.
trying to do is figure out
first.
which one she's saying that she wants to.
Because obviously,
I
we're
think
not
it's
going to have,
3443, Your
we're not
Honor.
going to have 6 trials on you in
Yeah, I know.
this
Well,
cycle.
All right, now I get it.
I
Okay.
want to try which case one.
19 CF 3440.
Okay, and that is the,
That's the possession of controlled substance.
okay,
Then 19 CF 3443, that's possession of weapon by convicted felon.
and you want to go forward on trials on both of those this cycle?
Yes, Your Honor, I said.
Judge, I would object to picking two juries, or picking two trials on two different cases from the same jury pool. There's no way to prevent the juries from being influenced by the fact that there's other cases.
It can be two jury pools. That doesn't have to be the same jury that we need to pick from.
Do that on the same date.
We don't have to do it on the same day. We pick a jury on one day and try it, and then we pick another jury on another day and try
What
it.
they're saying is bring in like a pick-and-go jury on like a...
Your Honor, I think this prejudices the defendant.
But they're not going to be...
One of the thing is, Your Honor, is that the original attorney has been suspended from the practice of law, Mr. Moore. Therefore, he's done nothing for my case. Mr. Williams took this case over and has done everything he possibly can in less than 5 months.
Well,
I have been here without representation, basically with an attorney who's been suspended from the practice of law.
Okay.
I'm prejudiced by this. If I can't introduce evidence to exonerate me...
But here's the
state wants
thing,
to pull
Mr.
it forward.
McDonald, here's the thing. I don't know what the information is. You said you just bought it. Hold on.
Well, I've obtained...
I said, hold on. The other thing is, just because Mr. Moore may have been suspended from the practice of law doesn't mean it's automatically prejudice to you. You'd have to explain to me what he's done wrong.
He did nothing in
Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
Nothing, not filed one motion, nothing, except for a continuance.
So, but you said Mr. Williams doesn't represent you on all these cases.
He does not, only on one, he doesn't represent me on.
Only one? Which one does he
I
not
represent him on everything except for the failure to appear case. The state filed the third-degree felony of failure to appear. Looks like that's,
2648.
thank you.
22 CF 2648.
Okay, so the newest one, I think.
The cataract surgery is wonderful when I'm driving home, but it closes.
I just,
I'm just asking to just let me present the evidence and let Ms. Leon look at it too. That's all I'm asking, Your Honor.
okay, but you're 4 years into that case.
It's not my fault, Your Honor.
But you haven't given me, you just said you bought information. Is
It's
this
not that I
information
bought
you
the
plan on
information,
turning
Your Honor. I
over?
could not figure out who the tenant's name was that was on the property at the time that he was leasing the property from me. Just because officers go in there and do procedural errors on something that's got nothing to do with me, a tenant's property has got nothing to do with me. The gun's got nothing to do with me. There's been no DNA done on the gun. You're just trying to place something on me that doesn't belong. I don't do guns at my home. I never have.
Okay, so you're talking about someone else's property?
Yes, I am. They went in there and
Well,
done
don't-
a search warrant that was and then they came back 6 months later on a stale warrant and charged me with the crime. I'm not even a co-defendant. Bert Moore never even suppressed the evidence.
You're trying to suppress evidence of a search of someone else's house?
No, Judge, it was
No.
search of his house. They found property that belonged to
wasn't even-
someone else that he's indicating he didn't know was there.
It's not my stuff. It was my
Well,
mother's house and she rented the property.
All right.
The warrant, I was in
Kind
jail.
of a constructive possession.
Well, I understand that. That's what trials are for. I mean, if there was a warrant, what's the suppression issue?
The warrant, I was never served with the warrant.
Your Honor, but
The-
if I
the
may
people
just,
have-
Information, they came there with an affidavit, Your Honor, with an iPod that they never found. And they put all the information on the affidavit from the search of the warrant.
All right.
That they changed shifts on.
you know, if I may, 1 second, just,
And my mother's dead, the only witness I had.
You've had your opportunity. You're not letting anybody else talk. Ms. Leone?
yeah, not to put blame on anybody in particular. The problem is that I haven't had any contact with the defense at all on any of the cases. Since I took over the case back
All
in
right.
December.
This is what we're going to do. It's going to go May 1st. Y'all can talk about it between now and then talk with Judge Ganterick as to what you want to do going forward with it. But there needs to be dialogue, and these cases need to be resolved. They're 3 and 4 years old.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
And I understand if you had another attorney who wasn't doing what he was supposed to, but Mr. Williams has been on your cases for several months, he's going to look at it, review it, file any motions need to be filed, and based on that, Judge Ganterick will make a decision if it's going forward or if it's not.
Yeah, well.
All right, May 1st, 9 o'clock.
Probably the weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm already jammed up with appointments all day Friday. needs a hearing. I didn't know.
All right, Mr. Mobley has several cases, 20 CF 1650, 22 CF 1755, 1757, 1764, 22 CF 2048.
Judge, what I'm going to suggest with Mr. Mobley is he's in not quite as severe situation, but he's got family issues. I've talked to the state several times about trying to get him out on a furlough so that he can try to donate a kidney to his dad. They're not willing to agree to that. So I want to leave him moving forward, so if we can just pass him for Monday, let me talk with him, let the state see if it's going to, part of the problem is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cases, so even if we start just going ahead and trying cases, it's going to take a while to, well, actually, if we do them all as pick and goes, maybe we can do them relatively quickly.
I have 5
Try
cases.
to get him resolved.
So you're setting there for?
So plea trial?
Let me- Nobody here? All right, hang on a second. I tell you what, let's, let's go ahead and do a plea or continuance then, but let me meet with the state and see if we can get a resolution on this.
It's not going to happen before, not with this many cases.
How about the 4th? I'm going to put it on for the 4th.
All right, May 4th at 9.
Come out and go over with you whatever we come up with on all the cases. I thought we already had something.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at one that would have been from back when Charlie had it for 24 months, but it's prison, so it wouldn't be getting you out. Let me talk with him, let me see, maybe I can get her the furlough.
All right.
Or a plea.
May 4th at 9 a.m.
All right, so the 4th? Yeah, May the 4th.
All right, so are you Timothy Holt? Yes. Okay, and it looks like you don't have a lawyer?
Yes, I've hired
When did you hire him?
one. Couple days.
Okay. I just don't see anything in here for him yet. I know his other cases got covered by somebody today. So he's not here. So what would you like to do without him? 'Cause I don't see he's put in a notice of appearance yet.
Continuous.
Okay. All right, any objection from the state, Ms. Leone?
No, Your Honor.
All right, June 26th, that, I'm going to keep you on 1:30, but if Mr. Hardy, once he's retained, we can put it on the 9 o'clock, that's when the private lawyers are going to be. All right, June 26th at 1:30 till then. Which Jernigan is this? We've had 3 All right, Mr. Jernigan, you're here in 23 CF 239. Jernigan, you don't have a lawyer? Is that right? Do you have a lawyer, sir?
No, sir, I don't.
Have you tried to retain one?
Sir?
Have you tried to retain one?
No, sir. No, I've been in lockup.
Okay. I'm looking here where it sounds that you were found to not be indigent.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear you.
Okay, I've got an application here that shows that you were not found to be indigent, so I can't appoint you a lawyer at this time. Do you plan on hiring one?
I haven't been appointed one.
Because you don't qualify, according to the paperwork you filed.
I didn't qualify.
You did not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So based on that, are you going to hire a lawyer?
No, sir, I can't afford a lawyer.
Okay. Well, according to your application, you have, some equity in a motor vehicle and things like that, so I can't necessarily appoint one to you.
I didn't hear you.
All right, Mr., do we have one of those things we can give him to be honest, it's hard to see as well with that monitor in the way. Just swing the monitor around too, yeah. There we go. It's peeking around it.
Or do you hear better?
I'll put it in a right ear.
Hold it there.
Okay. Tell me when it's on. All right, can you hear me now better, Mr. Jernigan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the issue is you filed an application to be found indigent, that you can't afford your own attorney, and you were denied that you were determined to not be indigent. So based on that, I can't appoint a lawyer for you.
Okay.
Are you going to try to hire one?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Okay, so you're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys have a guideline that typically is, like we have a chart that shows.
Chart's right up there under your other monitor, little laminated sheet.
All right, Mr. Jernigan, are you still receiving your benefits?
As far as I know I am.
You know you are?
Okay. I didn't hear.
I mean, I'm speaking right into the microphone, Mr. Jernigan. Do you know if you're still receiving your benefits?
I don't know. The last time I spoke to my wife, I was.
Okay. Well, I can't appoint you a lawyer because your benefits are more than 200% of the annual poverty level, as well as you own a vehicle that you state you have $10,000 in equity.
I didn't hear you. I mean.
All right. According to your application, you have a vehicle in which you have $10,000 in equity. So I can't appoint you a lawyer.
You can't?
I cannot. I'm sorry if I'm raising my voice. I just want to make sure you hear me.
That's okay. I mean, I'm not hearing you through the speaker.
Okay.
The battery's going out.
Of course it is. All right. Have you talked to your wife about hiring you a lawyer?
Yes, but we're on a fixed income and we can't afford a lawyer. I can't afford a lawyer.
Okay. Well, according to the guidelines, I can't appoint one because it doesn't say you can't afford a lawyer. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what would you like to do with your case?
I don't know.
For the court's information, if I may, state has filed a one-count information alleging lewd or lascivious molestation of a victim under 12. That does have a 25-year minimum mandatory sentence attached to it. So I would suggest hiring a lawyer.
All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on Monday. I want you to have a talk with your wife about hiring you a lawyer and potentially maybe do an amended application to see if anything has changed, especially if you talk to her. And because you're in jail, I'm not sure if they'll take away your benefits. And if they do, that changes your financial situation.
Yes.
So I suggest you talk with her about that and find that out, and then we'll bring you back on Monday, a week from today, so you can talk to Judge Gontarek about that. And if you can explain that there's something changed, he may either override the clerk or find that new things, or information has changed. All right?
What was that again?
So what we'll do is we'll bring you back on Monday. In the meantime, talk to your wife about your finances. Find out if you can afford a lawyer or not. Even if it involves, selling that vehicle that you've got equity in. If you've lost your benefits due to being incarcerated, that may change your application as well. So you could file an amended application based on that. But without new information, I can't appoint you a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So talk to her about those things, file an amended application if you can. Otherwise, you'll talk to Judge Gontarek about it on Monday. I'm going to list that as basically a plea or continuance, but I'm assuming continuance at that point. But I need him to get some updated information to provide the court on Monday.
Okay, but I really don't think it's going to change much, but I will talk to her.
Well, I think you really need to make sure that your benefits are still coming in, because if they're not, that changes a lot. And frankly, when you're incarcerated, sometimes federal benefits, even Social Security, can be stopped because you're not supporting yourself at this point because you're in the state's custody. So make sure to talk to her about that, and that's not going to be an issue going forward. Because if that changes, we may be able to do something different.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you back on May 1st at 9 o'clock. It'll be Judge Gontarek that day.
May 1st?
May 1st. That's a week from today. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Your name, sir?
David Rodriguez.
Sorry, I just closed my system down.
23 CF 401. He doesn't have an attorney.
I'm trying to look it back up. I hit the wrong X and it closed down my system, and I have to pull up Judge Gontarek's here. All right, so it's David Rodriguez, is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, again, you're here in 23 CF 401. Have you tried to hire yourself an attorney, or have you applied for an appointment of a
I was
public defender?
actually supposed to meet with my attorney a couple of hours ago at the jail. I've been sitting here all day.
Who's that?
Brad Stewart.
Okay, he was here this morning.
Yeah, today, I was supposed to be hiring him today.
Okay. Well, I can put you on Monday, May 1st.
Is it possible to get him maybe another week just in case? Because he only comes.
That's a week from today.
Yeah, no, he only comes on Mondays. So if I'm back here again next Monday, I won't be able to see him. Yeah, could we do
I
that?
can put you on May 4th. So that'll be next Thursday, and then you can try to talk to him after that.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Glisson, anything?
Your Honor, we can do that. He hasn't been arraigned yet. He failed to appear for his arraignment. So we can just set it off for that day if you'd like.
Okay. I'll set off your arraignment until that day since it hasn't been addressed yet.
1:30.
Was it 1:30 on May 4th? All right, May 4th at 1:30, and then obviously if Mr. Stewart gets involved, he'll handle that appropriately.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. May 4th, 1:30. Gary Hudson. Any contact with him, Mr. Williams?
Okay. I'm sorry. Gary Hudson?
I believe he's in the jail. He was on first appearance this weekend.
He was on first appearance this morning?
Oh, was he?
No, that's what you just said.
This weekend.
This weekend.
Do you remember what, did you do one?
I did.
Let me pull them
What it
up.
was for?
I think it was a trespass. But I think he had another open case. I don't remember if they
Well,
revoked
he's
his
got a
bond.
case.
DUI.
A DUI case. Do you remember if the judge maybe revoked his bond?
A $2,000 cash or professional bond on trespass.
I'm pulling it up.
Well, it would have been revoked bond on the felony DUI, Judge.
Yeah. What do you want to do with him then? So he's not here
Well,
because he's
okay,
in
I'll
jail,
put the
but he
jail
just
cell.
got there.
I was actually seeking some additional discovery on the DUI case. So what I was gonna do was, and there's potentially a number of motions to be heard on it. It's a real weird situation. It's DUI on a bicycle riding on the sidewalk. And so I gave an email to the state. I want to go through the whole thing here.
All right, so what do we want to do since he's got the new case too and his bond's probably going to get revoked if it
New
hasn't
case,
already?
Your Honor, it's a misdemeanor trespass, and he has a $2,000 bond. I think the other bond was not revoked.
It was
It
not?
doesn't show like it was
Not yet.
revoked.
Let's leave him on then for docket day on Monday. I'll go out and I'll see him if he's still in.
What evidence did you need? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
You remember there was a whole issue about they told him to get on the thing? I asked for the body cams from earlier.
Okay.
That's really the only additional evidence that I'm looking for is the body cams from, 20 minutes before when they're interacting with him there at the
Okay.
convenience store, I guess.
But we deposed the people. Do you still
Yeah, we
need
deposed
additional
them.
time?
7:15 in the morning.
No, I mean, other
can
than
be
that,
ready
I was
for
to
trial?
go. Yeah, if you can get that stuff to me, if you can maybe get
I get
the
it.
body cams.
I probably have.
Let's set it for,
The
what,
first?
Monday?
Yeah, that's
for
fine.
Monday,
That's
for
fine.
docket day, and see where we are at that.
Looks like they covered all my warrants already, so that was good.
Judge, on Gary Hudson, let's set him for docket day. She's gonna see if she can get those additional body cam videos.
Okay, May 1st, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
I mean, if you want to hear the whole sordid story, I'll tell you.
Not
but-
tonight.
No. We don't want to hear it.
He's still in Swanee, apparently. Nobody's done a motion in order to bring him over from Swanee. He did,
Well,
I don't think he filed a formal, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Defense, I have notes, the defense has been asked two times
the
now
motion.
to do, and I can tell you the dates too.
You don't need
2
to
or
tell me
3
the
times
dates.
to do a transport order, and on last pretrial, defense says he's filing a transport order.
Apparently it hasn't been done since she's not here, so let me leave him on for the first and I'll.
Well, there was an order to transport on March 7th
Oh, there was? Okay, then.
for him to be here April 24th at 9 a.m. It was signed by Senior Judge Rasmussen.
And I
Then
think
I
because we
did
didn't get
what
it
I
in
was
time,
supposed to,
I think
and he's not
when we
here.
didn't get it in time, you were gonna file another one, that was the issue.
But no, the one that was filed on March 7th was for today.
Yeah. So that was over a month.
And he's still not here?
He's not on the jail list. I looked and he's not on there.